Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's not a good sound, is it? Uh-oh. It means that something bad has happened, or is happening at the moment, or will happen soon. Think of that book. Maybe you read it when you were a bit younger. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And then there's some mud, or some grass, or some water that they have to deal with. Uh-oh. It looks like this problem's going to stop them finding the bear. But it doesn't. They can't go round the problem. They can't go over it. They just carry on through. So they go through the grass, swish swash, and through the mud, and through the water. The problem doesn't stop their plan. They go, uh-oh, but they keep on going because they're not scared. In our story with Moses today, we get an uh-oh moment. Things go from bad to worse for the Israelites. Things are now really, really bad for God's people. Uh-oh! How is God going to rescue the people now? Moses and Aaron don't say, we're not scared. They are scared, and they're cross with God, that things have gone wrong. But God's plan can't be stopped. Moses and the people go, uh-oh! But God says, keep going. I am the Lord. The plan will be okay. Oh yes, I'm going to rescue my people. Last week, things finished really well. God had given Moses everything he needed. And the Israelites had realized that Moses was God's man and they were trusting him. But, uh-oh! Moses and Aaron go to Pharaoh and things go really badly. Pharaoh doesn't listen to Moses and Aaron. He says, I don't know the Lord your God. Why should I listen to him? Pharaoh thinks God's people are just being lazy, so he makes them work even harder. Uh-oh. Things were already really hard for them. They were slaves and had to make bricks, but now Pharaoh doesn't give them the straw that they need. They have to find the straw themselves and still make as many bricks as before. Now imagine you were my slaves and you had to make me 500 cakes each every day. Now that would be really hard for you. But it would be even harder if I didn't give you the flour and the butter and the sugar and the eggs that you need and said, go and find your own cake ingredients, but still make me 500 cakes every day. Imagine that. This is really hard, and the Israelites are hit and beaten by the Egyptians for not making enough bricks. Uh-oh! It looks like God's plan has failed. It's made things worse for God's people. He's not rescued them. God's people are angry with Moses and Aaron. They say, Moses and Aaron, you've made us stinky to Pharaoh. He hates us so much now. Uh-oh. There's no way this problem can be sorted. No way that God's rescue plan could work. Pharaoh's just too big and too powerful and too mean. So Moses prays to God, why have you done this? Why haven't you done any rescuing? Now if I was God, maybe I'd have zapped Pharaoh to show that I was more powerful. Or maybe I'd be really cross at Moses for not trusting me. Or maybe I'd have made lots of straw suddenly grow to make it easier to build the bricks. But God doesn't do any of these things. While Moses says, uh-oh, the plan's gone wrong, God. God says, I am the Lord. I will be with you. The plan's still the same. I will rescue my people. When things go wrong, you want someone big and loving to help you, to be with you. Whenever I try and make a craft, it always seems to all go wrong. I go, uh-oh, it's going wrong. I go to my mum. She's able to help me with the mess and make something brilliant out of it. She says, I'll sort it out for you. I know my mum's great at that because she's helped me so many times before. And God tells Moses, I am the Lord. He reminds him of how God had looked after Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. You remember them? And that he was absolutely going to keep his promises that he'd made with them. God shows them what he's like. He says, there's nothing wrong with the plan. I'm still in charge. I care about the Israelites. They're my special people. I'm bigger than Pharaoh. I'm more powerful than he is. The plan's fine. I will rescue my people. And I will use you, Moses, and you, Aaron. God doesn't go, ooh, that's a bit tricky. Don't know what to do about that. God's plan's the best plan. It's the right plan. Nothing surprised him. He warned Moses and Pharaoh and Aaron that Pharaoh wouldn't listen. He doesn't say anything new. He just reminds Moses what he's like. He says, Moses and Aaron, you're the right people for the job. And God says, I'm with you. The plan's fine. It will work. We don't need to change it. I don't need to come up with a plan B or C or D or E or F or G or H. I will rescue my people. You see, nothing can surprise God. You can't hide before God and then jump out and go boo, make him jump. You can't make God change his plans. Pharaoh's plan didn't mean God had to change when the people were going, oh no, uh-oh. You remember God's rescue plan for us looked like it was going wrong when Jesus was arrested and killed. Jesus' friends were going, uh-oh, it's all going wrong. But God was in control and he rescues his people. Jesus dying wasn't a mistake. It was all part of God's plan. And how great is that to know? God is bigger and more powerful than anything. Nothing can make him change his plan. Coronavirus can't stop God rescuing his people. People being horrible to Christians can't stop God rescuing his people. When we sin and make ourselves more important than God, that doesn't stop God rescuing his people from rescuing us. We should say sorry to him when we're greedy and selfish and mean to others. But he's in control. Nothing can stop God rescuing his people. Sometimes that's really hard to believe. Moses found it hard, and we find it hard. The thing that makes us go, uh-oh, whatever that is, seems too big and too scary. But God's in control. He's bigger and more powerful than anything. So let's trust in him. I'm going to say a prayer now, then we've got the worksheet and the craft for you to join in. So let's say a prayer. Father God, thank you that nothing could stop your plans to rescue your people from Egypt. And thank you that nothing can stop you rescuing us because of Jesus. Help us to trust you when things make us go, uh-oh. And remember that you are big and in control of everything. Amen.